We can. We're live. I
Hello?
think. Oh, I'm tired. I always wonder if we should really wait for people. But here we are. It's Sunday.
There we go. Hello,
and
Vicky.
Vicky's here. So life is good.
So let's go.
All right.
Kathy.
And
Hi, Kathy.
do we check to see if we have sound? Yes?
Hi, Vicky. Do we sound okay?
Cool. I think we do. I'm just assuming.
Hi, Barbara.
We don't have to check. Someone will say.
Can you guys hear us okay?
All right, Vicky.
Okay, thank you.
I feel like we should. I'm so conflicted
Let's go.
because I want to do these fast. I want these 15 minutes.
That's what we said.
I don't want to wait for people to join, which is
Hi,
so
Lisa
ignorant.
and Kathy Ann.
So we're gonna go. Like, I know I feel so bad, but we're gonna go. Because if you didn't know this is the second time. We're gonna try to do these every Sunday. I'm gonna do my best. We actually just got home. So I want these live videos rather than me just babbling, answering questions and kind of redoing the same questions. We kind of choose a topic. We're gonna stay on the topic. We're gonna try to get to answers if you put them in the comments. But we're going to try to plow through this subject, and hopefully people use them more for tools than anything. So 15-minute videos, and today we are talking about community. Okay? Sound good? So we're going to go. Actually, there's a ton of people in now, so this is cool. So first of all, the question is, how important is a plant-based community? And then I want to kind of unpack that a little bit and talk about, well, how do you find a community? Because I feel like people use community for an excuse. Like they see that, well, if I had a community, if I had a support system, if I had this, then I could be more successful. So I kind of want to unpack that. I get it. I understand it. And maybe I'll be a little bit mean, maybe. I don't know. I'm overtired, so I might be mean.
You don't need to be mean.
No, but I'm going to be honest. So first of all, Heather, plant-based community, is it important?
Very important. We didn't have that a while ago, and now that we've been involved with the community, it's very important. It helps with tips for cooking, which some of us don't cook, and it helps with answering questions, whether it be exercise, fitness, losing weight, a bunch of things, and just to be with a group of like-minded people that can help and support you throughout this journey that you're on, and to help you to be healthier.
Yeah, and the biggest thing for me is I don't feel like I'm alone. Because for a couple of years, I felt like I was all alone doing this, and I was just this freak. And I kind of kept it super quiet. I was a closet plant-baser, right? And because I didn't know there were other people that do this. We live in kind of a rural kind of town, not so rural-ish anymore, but the community that I kept, I never even heard of vegan, plant-based, nothing like that. So community is important. The other thing community does is it kind of helps you find where events are and stuff. And I think there's a lot more community out there than we think there is. And so to me, community simply means connecting dots.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, like before, I was very quiet and didn't want to really ask people about different things, say too much, and kind of just found things out my own way. But it's nice now to be in different communities in the plant-based also, whether it be the Missing Rolls Club or the weekly meetups that we have, being involved with people in our area, in the Buffalo area of the vegan community also.
Yeah, which that's actually another aspect I never thought of. There's the online community, which is super cool, which I appreciate the online community. It's super nice, and I love it. And the community, the plant-based community, is ginormous on Facebook, Instagram, and all that stuff. I love it. But at the same time, there's something to be said about like a real life community, like local community that we
Right.
can actually hang out and personally sit down and chat with people. Don't you agree?
Yes. In fact, we were at a vegan community group tonight, and it was very nice to be with different people, and even found out that there's a gentleman opening a restaurant next month at downtown Buffalo, vegan restaurant. It's going to be great. I forgot the name. What was it?
Something Verde. Oh, wait a minute. He gave me his card. I don't know if we should be plugging stuff locally on these lives.
Oh.
But we will.
Well, this is new too. Villa Verde.
Villa Verde, a vegan cafe. So
But
there
if
you go.
we weren't at a community, we wouldn't have known maybe that it was going to be opening soon.
No, we wouldn't have. We might have saw something on Facebook while we were scrolling through. But yeah, that's the thing. When you're connected with real people, you get to find out about vegan restaurants and all sorts of stuff. And the other thing is, it's not always going to be perfect. I love our vegan community in Buffalo. I'm going to be honest with you; they don't eat like us. Like many of them don't. I should say many of them don't eat like us. In my opinion, that's okay because we have. Let's celebrate what we have in common.
Right.
Let's talk about what we have in common. And, obviously they don't have animal products at a vegan hangout, which is cool. So we still got to work on them with the oil.
Right.
But we can do that. We can work together. And it's even like, a lot of times Veg Fest, there's not a whole lot of food that we can eat at Veg Fest. So instead of looking at that as like a negative or a bad thing, let's work with Veg Fest and get some whole food plant-based choices going instead of just writing it off.
And in fact, there was someone there.
Yeah.
This past August.
Yeah, and it's happening. So let's join forces and let's help each other instead of just bashing each other all the time. I think that's cool. So anything else? Other communities like I know you're.
Although there's a running community in Buffalo, I have met some really great people in our local running community. They help you. They give you tips. They give you tricks for different things, especially getting faster, which is nice sometimes.
Yeah, in community in general, one of the things that I've learned is to be a giver. Because it seems like, you could be part of a community just to take. And, there's people that do that. But I feel like that, for me personally, it's super important for me to give to the community. And everyone has something. We were just talking about that tonight. We all have our own little, areas that we're good, or our own little aptitudes. And we need to use them, we need to use them together. And so, community is important too when you're having a bad time, that they can help bring you out of that. But you got to be remembering that when someone else is struggling, that you're helping them too. And it's a beautiful thing, really.
Right.
Like we need more community, not just in a plant-based world, but like in the world. So here's the tips and tricks, because we're already at 8 minutes and 35 seconds, and I want to finish this within 15 minutes.
Well, and I also want to say community builds really good friendships. You can meet a lot of really good people out there. There's being a part of different communities, you can make friends, and sometimes people might be shy and not really know how to come out of that shell and to reach out to others to ask what they need. And it's good to be in a community, because then you can come out of your shell a little bit and start talking to people and make some really good friends. And we've made a lot of good friends in our community.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially in even the online community. You guys
Right.
are awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we've made a lot of friends off of Facebook, not just friends on Facebook, but people we've actually been able to meet. And we've made a lot of good friends.
And the other cool thing, you have friends like everywhere. Like when we're traveling, pretty much almost everywhere we go, we know someone that's plant-based because they're on social media. So that's cool too. The flip side of that is you don't have to like everyone that's in the community. That's okay too, because there's a whole bunch of different people. Some people you're going to develop a really close relationship, and other people are going to be acquaintances, just like in real life.
That's what I was going to say.
But and it's still fun.
But you
know?
can like them, but you can just be acquaintance. They might not just be your best friend.
Well, the reason why I say that is because I had someone write to me a couple months ago that says, they were going to a meetup, and they didn't like someone that was there, so they just said, "Screw it, I'm not going." But that's stupid. Like that's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're at work or wherever you are, you're going to be compatible with certain people and less compatible with other people, and it's okay. Work together.
And we need to be kind to everyone because we want to be treated that way too.
For real. Okay. Are you done?
Yep.
Okay.
For now.
So here's some things. So how do I find a community? People say there is no one. I live blank and there is no one around. There's no one. I'm the only plant-based person within 5,000 square miles. And they're wrong. I'm sorry. They're wrong. I think you'll be very surprised at how many plant-based people are local in your community and you don't know about them. Many people that are plant-based aren't on social media. Some people are on social media. You don't even know it. So how do you find this community? It's easy to throw your hands up and say it doesn't exist, but I totally believe no matter where you are, anywhere, there are people that are plant-based around you that are waiting to have their own community. So a couple tips or tricks. First of all, if you go to Plant Pure Nation's website and click on the Plant Pure pods and put your zip code in, it will show you where there's a local pod. Plant Pure Nation, if you have Netflix, they put out a video, and this was their kind of call to action. They set up these pods. We run a pod, locally.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's more than one. Some pods are active, some are not. We kind of use our pod to feed another thing that I'm going to talk about in a minute. So that's one way. Another thing, you can go to meetups.com, which I don't know where this has been my whole life. I didn't know about it. Someone introduced it to me. Meetups.com is super, super cool. Basically, any interest that you have, whether it's hiking, running, biking, crocheting, pottery, whatever, you can go on Meetup, type your interest in, and it will show you local meetups. Meetups, we started ours a couple weeks ago, and I think we're almost up to 100
Mm-hmm.
people. It's crazy. There's a ton of people that are just waiting. The other thing is obviously Facebook. There's actually filters you can use on Facebook to limit the geography. You can search that way. So they're out there. You got to ask around, and you can find. I really believe that if you're really looking for community, that it exists. It's there.
Or make your own.
That's what I'm going to talk about, and that's where people might get mad at me. So I get this all the time. People say, I can't be plant-based because there's no community, I have no support system, nothing's in place. That's a crock. But even if it isn't a crock, I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't have a community, if you can't find one and you want one, make your own. It's that simple. Make your own community. You want a community? Make it. And we did. I think we have a really cool community, and we're kind of new at it. We're kind of learning as we go. But we have help now. We can't do this ourselves, so we have some really, really cool people that reached out to help us. And our community is growing like crazy. So all the same things I just said to search for, if you want to start a community locally, which I fully suggest you do, or maybe merge a community. Sometimes, depending on how far a pod or something is away, maybe you can merge one or join one or kind of meet halfway. First of all, set up a Plant Pure pod. It's super easy to do. It's a couple clicks of a mouse, boom, you're done. But that's not going to get a community automatically, but at least when someone watches that film, searches an area code, they'll at least have you for a contact.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing I would definitely do is sign up on Meetups. There is a small cost, but if you do monthly meetup, which is my next suggestion, you can put a jar out or something and people throw a couple bucks in there and they can help pay for it. So what we do, I think consistency will build a community more than anything.
Right.
And for us, it's monthly meetups, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
first of the month.
Yeah. So we do the first Saturday of the month.
From 11 to 12:30, and everybody just brings a dish to pass, a plant-based, whole food, plant-based dish to pass.
Yeah.
And we just hang out and get together.
Super, super casual. No one speaks. There's no, it's just, you throw a dish down that you made. You know, I'll put out a thing, you know, like, because a lot of
Bring
people,
a recipe.
Yeah, bring a recipe. That would be cool too. But here's the cool thing. As far as you go, if you're the one like running these, there's really not too much to do. You don't have to do the cooking. Like everyone brings something to feed themselves kind of, and it's kind of more like samples, right? Like you just take a little bit off of each thing. And you just hang out, you know, you eat an hour, hour and a half, you clean up, you go home, and there's really not much to do. And it's a really good way to connect every month. And I love it. I love our meetups. They're great.
Awesome people. Glad to meet everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's wonderful.
And, you know, bring friends. And, you know, we say, you know, come if you're plant-based, come if you're plant curious, whatever that looks like. And then I always tell people if they don't, you know, if they're intimidated by it, like a fancy recipe or something, bring a bag of apples. Like, I don't even really care if you bring food. Just be there so you can hang out with us and learn from us, you know, or we can learn from you. The other thing is pamphlets. It doesn't cost much to get a pamphlet or even business cards made up. You can go, Whole Foods has been kind of weird about hanging stuff up. They stopped letting us do that. But you can go into local stores, especially places like Feel Right, the library, the grocery stores. A lot of people have community boards. Just put that stuff all over with a contact name. You know, if you want to, a lot of times your local newspaper will run an ad for free just as like an info if you're not making money off of it. And Facebook groups, you know. If you make a Facebook event, and you make it public, it will show up to people that are local in your area. So my advice is, if you don't have a community, go build one. Right? So there's community.
And it might just be you and one other person. And then next thing you know, you might have 10, 20, 30. You never know until you try.
Right. But I think just like the key to fitness, weight loss, relationship, whatever it is, you have to be persistent and have consistency. So yeah, you might be a year with a 5 people meetup. It's okay. That's fine. It's 5 people. It's better than no community. And then it just might happen. So stay with it. I always, when we started ours, I always had this vision that I was going to be sitting there with a plate of food and no one would show up. But I was willing to do that. I would be willing to sit there alone for an hour.
I came with you.
And then you showed up. So that was my first. Yeah. No, it's been super great. And I'm super glad we do it. And we're meeting like amazing people locally. And we wouldn't know them if it wasn't for our monthly meetups. So get on that, build a community, connect the dots, because no one else is going to do it if you don't, right? So there you go. So
next Saturday, September 1st, we hope to see our local friends out, 11 to 12:30, and we can't wait to see you. Oh, she's putting a plug in. Anytime you can, you advertise it. There you go. And you guys, I hope that helps with community, and hopefully we've been a little crazy busy, but we'll be back here next week, Sunday at 8 o'clock for another episode of Fat Man Rants Live. And the missus. Oh, I like that. Yeah, me too. Okay, no sign today. Hi, everyone. Nalita, Vicky, Shirley, Josh, everybody who's out there. I can't read y'all. All right, our community that we love. And our community. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Like we're our community too. Yeah. All of you. There's thousands of people out there. It's so cool. I love our community. Community to me is so much. It's so much. It really is. It is. So until next time, eat plants. Move your body. All you got to do is a little more than you did yesterday. Have a great week, everyone.